Okay, good morning students. Today we discuss some atoms. Already we have discussed the Bohr's model of atom for hydrogen atom. Bohr's model of atom for hydrogen atom. Now in this class we discuss about the hydrogen like atoms. Bohr's model of atom for hydrogen like atoms. That means suppose in the hydrogen atom what we have considered is this is the nucleus and this is one proton here and there is no neutron and the electron orbits like this. So one electron and one proton inside the nucleus. Suppose if we consider helium atom, that means helium atom has two electrons and two protons inside the nucleus and two neutron also whatever it is. But here electrically neutral, so neutron we can consider. Now if this helium atom, that is 2,4, is ionized, that means if one of the electron is removed from this helium atom, then it becomes helium plus 1 ion. That means in this case it consists only one electron but two protons inside the nucleus. Suppose if we consider lithium atom, which consists of 3 electrons and here also it consists 3 protons. If we ionize this like hydrogen like atom, then L plus 2, then it is similar to 1 electron and 3 proton system. So that means in hydrogen atom we have 1 electron, 1 proton. But if for a helium, ionized helium, 1 electron, 2 proton and lithium 1 electron, 3 proton. That means these are called hydrogen like atoms. That means hydrogen like atoms. For this case we have to derive the radius, velocity and all these things. So as we know, according to Bohr theory, the electrical force of attraction between two particles is equal to the necessary centripetal force. As the electron is revolving around the nucleus, the necessary centripetal force required is provided by this Coulomb force of attraction between the nucleus or the protons and the electrons. So actually in case of hydrogen atom, we write only E square only because it has 1 electron and 1 proton. That means E into E by R square, where R is the radius of the orbit. Then we can write like this. Actually we follow this equation. But for hydrogen like atom or ionized helium or lithium, if that particular ionized atom has Z number of Z number of protons inside its nucleus. In this case, we have to write this equation changes as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Z E square by R square is equal to mv square by R. Okay. This is the first equation. That means we consider like this, in the nucleus there are Z number of protons and electron is revolving around the nucleus. In that case, and if we consider this is the radius of the orbit, in that case the necessary centripetal force is equal to the Coulomb force of attraction. Okay, this is the first case. And according to Bohr's model of atom, the angular momentum of an electron revolving in a stationary orbit is equal to an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. This is the second condition. This is the second condition we have. Now from these two conditions, we write V as nh by 2 pi into 1 by mr. Now substituting in this equation, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Z E square by R square into is equal to m, V square means n square h square by 4 pi square m square R square into this 1 by R. So now this r square term will get cancelled and one m term will get cancelled. This 4 pi, here 4 pi will get cancelled and there remains m. Now the radius of the orbit r is equal to, from this equation, that is n square h square by pi m this z square, and this epsilon naught. That is n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z square. Actually, in the case of Bohr's atom, Bohr's radius for it is n square h square epsilon naught by pi m e square. But here we got Rn is equal to n square h square epsilon naught square by pi m e square into z. So by comparing these two equations, we got another term z here. So Rn is equal to actually n square into R0 as we write in case of hydrogen atom. But here in this case we have to write Rn is equal to n square by z R0. Okay. Actually this R0 we calculated as 529 Armstrong, 0.529 Armstrong. So you remember this. So this is for hydrogen atom and this is for atoms having z number of protons. Okay. Now on the similar lines we derive for velocity. Now from this equation, velocity is equal to nh by 2 pi into 1 by mr, where r we got it as this one, n square h square epsilon naught square. Now substituting here, so velocity is equal to nh by 2 pi into 1 by m into r. R value is n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m e square z. Now cancelling these two and cancelling this pi and cancelling this m, we can write z e square by 2n h epsilon naught. Okay, now we got this equation. So actually in case of hydrogen atom, Vn we can have E square by 2n h epsilon naught. Okay, now we got Vn is equal to Z E square by 2n h epsilon naught. So in this case we can write Vn is equal to 1 by n into V naught, but in this case we write Vn is equal to Z by n into V naught, because these terms are common. So actually V depends on n, so here also n. So we can write like this. Okay, you compare these two. In case of hydrogen atom, the radius of the orbit is n square r naught only simply, but here we got n square by z, and in this case velocity is equal to 1 by n v naught. In this case we got z by n v naught. Okay, so you remember these two also, velocity terms. Okay, now frequency. Frequency of rotation is equal to, that means orbital frequency of the electron in a particular orbit. 1 by t is equal to, we can write, actually t means 2 pi r by v, so we can write like this. Now substituting those two equations, Vn, that is Z E square by 2n H epsilon naught into 1 by 2 pi into 1 by r. R means that value. So n square H square epsilon naught, not epsilon square, epsilon naught. So pi m E square. Sorry, radius this one, pi m Z E square. Now we can write this equation as this pi will get cancelled and the remaining terms remain same, that is Z square e power 4m by, this is 2 into 2 4, n into n square n cube h cube epsilon naught square. So this is the orbital frequency in case of atoms having a z number of protons inside the nucleus. Now actual value of f is equal to, we have m e power 4 m by 4 n cube h cube epsilon naught square. So here we got f is equal to z square e power 4 m by 4 n cube h cube epsilon naught square. Here f is inversely proportional to n cube and here it is also proportional to n cube. But the only term different is here we got z square, here there is no z square. Now the energy of the electron. As we know, the orbiting electron possesses both kinetic energy and potential energy. So kinetic energy is Ke plus Pe is equal to total energy. So now first calculate kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is equal to half m v square. So that is half m v square. V we got like this value. P square means we can write it as z square e power 4 by squaring on that 4 n square h square epsilon naught square. So this equal to z square e power 4 m by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. Okay, whereas in case of hydrogen atom, there is, we got only the kinetic energy term as this one only, e power 4 m by 8 n square h square. In this case we got the extra term z square. Okay, similarly the potential energy. Potential energy is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze by r into E. But r we have to write that term, that is 1 by, sorry, minus sign, minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze square by r. R term we have to write that equation n square h square epsilon naught into pi m e square z. Okay, this equation becomes e square, here e square, z into z, z square. So minus z square e power 4 divided by, this pi will get cancelled. So 4 n square h square epsilon square. So now the total energy is, adding these two we get z square e power 4 by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square minus z e square e power 4 by 4 n square h square epsilon naught square. And this equal to minus z e power 4, sorry, this here m term is there, m by 4 n square, 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. This is the total energy, z square. This is the total energy of the electron in a atom having atomic number z. So actually this can be written as E into minus z square by n square into this term is common. Actually we have calculated it as E is equal to minus z square by n square into 13.6 electron volt. That we have calculated. So energy of an electron in a particular orbit n having atomic number z is given by this equation. So actually we write it as equation E is equal to minus 13.6 by n square electron volt. But in this case you have to write it as z square by n square into minus 13.6 electron volt. Okay, now another equation, last one, E2 minus E1. So from that equation only we can write, if electron jumps from E2 to E1, that is given by z square by z square into what it is, 1 by like this, z square e power 4 m by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square, 2 minus z e power 4 m by 8 n2 square, n1 square h square epsilon naught square. But this is equal to hc by lambda, that equal to, taking common terms, z square e power 4 m by 8 h square epsilon naught square into 1 by n2 square minus of minus, actually it is minus. So minus n2 square minus of minus n1 square. So we write it as z square e power 4 m by 8 h square epsilon naught square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So from this equation 1 by lambda is equal to, writing this h2 here, z square e power 4 m by 8 h cube epsilon naught square c into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So actually we write this equation, z square is all these term is as Rydberg constant r. So you can write it as 1 by lambda is equal to rz square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So this is another equation. Okay, these are the equations that we have to compare with the hydrogen atom to other atoms. Okay, so if it is hydrogen atom, radius is n square h square epsilon naught, this one. So we write it as Rn is equal to n square r naught. But in case of electron revolving around a nucleus of atomic number z or z number of protons, in that case we have to write this equation as Rn is equal to n square r naught by z. In case of velocity it is, we have 1 by n v naught, here z by n v naught. and a frequency, we have this equations comparison, and energy this comparison, and wave number this comparison. So in case of hydrogen atom, if you substitute, simply we can substitute hydrogen. If it is hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1. If it Z is equal to 1, you get the same equation. Here also if Z equal to 1, we get the same equation. Here if it Z equal to 1, we get the same equation. If Z is equal to 1, we get the same equation. Here also if Z equal to 1, we get the same equation as 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay. So, these are the comparisons between hydrogen atom and hydrogen like atom. That means an atom, electron revolving around a nucleus of having Z number of protons. So, and one thing you have to remember is, whenever you get the term E square, in that place you have to replace it by ZE square. You just remember, here it is E square, we write ZE square. Here in this term, it is E square, we write ZE square. We got in this, it is E power 4, that's why we got Z square, because for every E square term we have to write Z. So it is E power 4, that is Z square E power 4. And in this equation also, we got E power 4, that's why we write Z square. So that means for every E square term, we have to replace it by ZE square. If it is E power 4, we have to write Z square E power. You just remember in that way only. Okay. Now another one. So for wave number we have Z square R into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. So these are the comparative equations. Okay. This is for hydrogen atom, this is for an atom having Z number of protons inside its nucleus. So these are these equations comparison between hydrogen atom to the other atom. Okay, you can understand this. Now another one. Now like this, n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Suppose an electron absorbing energy from this ground state, first state, suppose it excites to the fourth state. Assume that an electron in the ground state, by absorbing energy, that is equal to, suppose if we say it is E1, E2, E3, E4. Suppose if it absorbs an energy equal to E4 minus E1. Suppose if we supply an external energy which is equal to E4 minus E1 to this electron, then it excites to E4 state. But in the excited state, its lifetime is very small, so it gets the stable state, it de-excites to the ground state. But while de-excitation, there are number of transitions are possible. So the number of transitions possible are equal to, suppose if the electron enters from first state to second state, whatever it is. Okay, assume that N1 state to N2 state. That we don't, you remember, you forget this. Suppose electron in N1 state excite to a second state or final state of N2. Then from N2 state it de-excites to N1 states. The number of possible possible transitions are equal to, we have this formula, N2 minus N1 into N2 minus N1 plus 1 whole divided by 2. So these are the number of transitions possible. Okay, remember, number of transitions possible is equal to n2 minus n1 into n2 minus n1 plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, now I will explain with two examples. So this is n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose assume 4 levels. Suppose an electron excites from first state to fourth state where it de-excites. So the number of possible transitions according to this relation is, suppose here it excites from first state to fourth state. That means n1 equal to 1, n2 is equal to 4. Okay. Now from these two, in this relation we substitute as n2 is equal to 4 and n1 is 1, 4 minus 1 into 4 minus 1 plus 1 divided by 2. Now how many possible? 4 minus 3 is 4 minus 1 is 3 and this is 4 minus 1 minus 3 cancel into 4 by 2. That is 2, that is 6. So 6 transitions are possible. So what are those 6 we examine? Suppose it may de-excite directly to first state, it may de-excite to the second state, it may de-excite to the third state. Here how many possibilities are there? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now from third state here, it may de-excite to directly to the first state or second state. That means 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 4 to 2, 4 to 3 or 3 to 1 or 3 to 2. Now here we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is the fourth and this is fifth. Now from second state to first state is another possibility. This is the sixth one. Okay, total 6 transitions. So it may directly jump from fourth to 1, fourth to 2, fourth to 3. Next, suppose if it comes to second one, then 2 to 1. If it is from 3, there are 2 possibilities, directly to 1 or 3 to 1. These 2 represents this. So there are, how many transitions are possible means there are 6 transitions are possible. Okay, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose if you take another example, 5. Now if we take the example of 5 states like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So assume that it excites from ground state to fifth state. In that case, we have n2 is 5, n1 is 1. Okay. Now number of possibilities are 5 minus 1 into 5 minus 1 plus 1 by 2. This is 4 into, this is 5 by 2. That is 10. So total 10 transitions are possible. See what are they? Fifth to 1, fifth to 2, fifth to 3, fifth to 4. How many possibles? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from fourth state to first state, fourth state to second state, fourth raised to second, third state. That means 4, 5, 6, 7. Now third state to first state or second state, 8 and 9. And second state to the first state, that is 10. So total 10 number of transitions are possible. Okay, these are this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you remember this one. Okay, one simple example, another one. Four states like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if it de-excites from second state to n2 is 4, n1 is 2. In that case, how many possibilities are there? 4 minus 2 into 4 minus 2 plus 1 by 2. This is 2. 2 plus 1, 3 by 2. So total 3 possibilities. You can see 4th to 2nd, 4th to 3, 3 to 2. 1, 2, 3. So this is first one, second one, third one. These 3 possibilities are possible.